All right, everybody. Today we are going to break down what's known as a dancing dog flow. And I wonder who deemed that. I wonder if it's Cameron Shane. That's who I think it is.
Oh, it could be.
So dancing dog flow is something I get a request for a lot. It does take a lot of shoulder strength and awareness. Also, you know, as with anything, if you start speeding stuff up, you can get out of alignment. And so today we're going to really try to focus in doing it super slowly. Also having places you can stay along the way that are very strength building, so that you can have proper alignment for your shoulders. It can be super fun. What else do you think about dancing dog? Why do you like it?
I like being in a progressive movement. So
Yeah,
rolling back, and it feels dance-like. And so
it is very dance-like. Yeah. And I also love it because I like to choreograph. And so it is very dance-like, and it can kind of allow you to be in that flow state, that feeling that you're moving your shoulders clearly in all the ways they can move. It's very shoulder strengthening if the alignment is correct. So we'll play with it today and we'll just see what happens. So we'll take a moment to just allow ourselves to root down, ground down. I'm going to place my hands on the earth, on the floor, and take a few breaths here. Maybe in and out, in through the nose, out through the mouth, a few shoulder rolls. Really connect to the land that we are on. This is the land of the Coast Salish people here on Whidbey Island, including the Tulalip tribe. I'm taking a moment to feel these bodies, and in particular, perhaps your shoulder. Your right shoulder, your left shoulder. You might visualize where the shoulder connects the humerus bone into the actual shoulder joint, connecting to the clavicle, connecting to the shoulder blade, and just feel your shoulders. And notice any tension or tenderness that might be there at the shoulders. Tightness, weight of the world on the shoulders. The shoulder is a muscle-dependent joint. So it's imperative that we build strength and stability around the shoulder joints. The hips, there's a lot of ligaments that make up the hip joint. Shoulders, not as much. We're asking them to move in a lot of different directions without a whole lot of ligament support. So strengthening our muscles in a way that is sustainable is really important as we age. Can you think about, for a moment, if you're carrying anything that you could put down for the next hour? Maybe you're carrying a concern or a worry, or maybe it's something you need to do for work or something pressing. It could just be the state of the world we are in. Like when I say weight of the world, it tends to honestly go to our shoulders, that tension, that contraction. We'll think of this practice as not only fortifying our shoulder joints physically, but also edifying us in our boundary, in our ability to say, this is right for me, this is not. And when we practice that in our physical bodies in a yoga class, we have a little bit more of an opportunity to notice how that might show up in our life off the mat. We'll bring our palms to our heart in any shape that feels useful right now. We'll open with the sound of 3 tones. All right, my dears. So for our playlist today, if you're following me along on Spotify, I'm going to pick something kind of dancey. How about You Can't Hold Me Down? You can't hold me down. You can't hold me down. Don't try. All right, here we go, my dears. We're going to start with the Dolphin Sequence to start to build some strength. So Conti is going to start on our hands and knees. If you're following me along on Spotify, we're going to push play in 3, 2, 1. Push play. And so here on hands and knees, I'm going to invite Conti into drawing her heels of her hands toward her knees toward the heel of her hands. But of course, she's not going to move because she's on a sticky mat, but she's going to really feel the muscles alongside her body. Yeah, the side body and the muscles that draw the shoulders away from the ears. You might quiver here. In fact, if you're doing it in a way that is strengthening, you probably will quiver. Yeah. So I would definitely stay here. That would be my practice. You might lift your knees 1 inch and still pull your knees and wrists toward one another and push into the earth to feel your shoulder blades. Yes, almost like a small cat. Yeah, small cat pose. Draw your belly in and pull your wrists towards your knees. Pull your knees towards your wrists. You should feel core here as well. Core and side body. Yeah, we're going to stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, downward facing dog. From down dog, right elbow comes to the earth. Left elbow comes to the earth. Shift forward, forearm plank. So you got to wiggle your feet back. Yeah. And so Conti's hands are down on the earth. Yeah. Drawing the belly in and up, really feeling into the awareness of shoulders away from the ears. So imagine bringing your elbows toward your feet toward your elbows. Yes. Push into the earth. Feel that tiny cat. Stay for 5. Try to relax your neck. 4. Good. 3, 2. Walk your feet forward, hips high, forearm dog or dolphin. This is a version of dolphin. You might shake your head yes. You might shake your head no. Lift your right elbow, then your left elbow. Walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Interlace fingers behind your tail. And for a moment, keep your thumbs on your sacrum. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Yes. So as soon as you squeeze your shoulder blades together, you might notice that your thumbs come a little bit off your sacrum. Nod your head yes. Nod your head no. Keep a tiny bend to your elbows and let your arms come out as much as is available. It might not be that much if you have a tiny bend and you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. Looks great. Inhale here. Big long exhale. Release your hands, chair pose, hold 10 breaths. So one way to start getting ourselves warm is to hold poses. Another way is to move fast, right? Today, we're really going to try to be slow and steady and really, really mindful of the shoulder joints. If and when we start to feel these postures in a way that feel really mindful and aligned, then we can move faster and we will at least be aware if they start to feel out of alignment, which can help save us from injury. We want energy, no injury. Inhale here, dip your butt a little bit lower. Bring your shoulders back and down. Lift your sternum up, up, up. Good. Draw the front of your ribs in. Inhale here. Drop your booty 1 inch. Lift your sternum forward and up. Bring your shoulders down. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Come back, down dog. And then shift forward into plank. And shift back into down dog. Now this time try to roll forward into plank. So really, yes, you see your belly drawing in and up. And then the shoulders might even go a tiny bit past your wrists. Tiny bit past. And then leading with the belly button drawing in, roll back down dog. Roll forward into plank. Yep. Going through almost a cat. And then leading with the belly button, rolling back. Awesome. One more time, rolling forward and rolling back. This is strengthening and also for the shoulders, but also awareness of how the core really helps, Come onto your left elbow. Good. Right elbow. Shift forward into forearm plank. And wiggling the toes back, drawing the belly in. Imagine bringing your toes towards your elbows towards your toes, pushing into the earth, especially the wrists. Feel your upper back have a tiny cat shape, Keep drawing the belly in, keep pushing through the heels. Now look forward and lengthen out. Yeah, awesome. But keep that push and keep that pull, and then walk your feet forward, dolphin. Bring hips high. Good. Breath in. Long breath out. Lift your left elbow up. Right elbow up. Walk forward to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Interlace the fingers at the sacrum. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Yep. Keep a tiny bend to your elbows. Let your arms rinse out. Let your head be long. You might nod yes. You might nod no. Chair pose. Breath in. Sink the booty, lift the heart. Shoulders back and down. Inhale here. Sink the booty, lift the heart, shoulders back and down. Inhale here. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift. Step to plank pose. Plank pose on your palms. Yeah? And then coming onto your right side, stagger your feet. Stagger your feet inside plank. Yeah? So the bottom foot is a little bit behind the top foot. You might even have your big toe and second toe hook the Achilles like Hunty is here. Push into the earth and make sure, which yours is, your shoulder is right over your wrist. Shoulder is right over the wrist. Stay for another deep breath in. Come to plank pose. Shift onto your left side with staggered feet, You might hook your Achilles with your big toe and second toe. See what feels useful. Come back to plank. Hold, notice. Tiny bit of push into the earth so that there's a slight little cat back. And then imagine bringing your heels of your hands and your feet toward one another. Stay for 5. Knees could always be down here. 4, 3, 2, downward facing dog. Now shift high on the balls of your feet and really bend your knees, Looking forward, see if on your next exhale you could hop to your hands, maybe 1 foot at a time, or maybe both together. Nice. Halfway lift on the inhale, forward fold on the exhale. Chair pose on the inhale. Booty goes down, heart goes forward and up. Inhale here. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift on the inhale. Step back to plank. Come onto your left side, stagger your feet. So she has her top foot behind the bottom foot. Top foot behind the bottom foot. I'm going to invite her to lift her top leg up. And then place her top foot in front of her bottom foot. Stagger. And just notice how that might be challenging. Could the toes still go down to the floor? So the interesting thing that's happening here is your hips are totally stacked.
Oh, they're stacked?
And it's going to feel like they're coming forward.
It totally does.
But they're totally stacked. That's because the top hip usually goes behind. So it'll be interesting for you to watch it later because it's so stacked. Come back plank. Come onto the right side, staggering the feet like you did before. So top foot behind at first. So we can see how the hip kind of falls back here. Now lift that leg up and see if you can stagger it the other way. And get the toe down. Get the toe down. Yeah. Is that left toe down? And hips are stacked. Awesome. Draw the belly in. Come back plank. Push and pull the heels of the hands and the feet toward one another. So this is so edifying and fortifying for the shoulders. Because it looks like she's doing as much as she is. It's strong, strong. You might say just with that, because that's a lot, or you might lift your right heel. Maybe you lift it an inch or 2. Yeah, nice level hips. So good. Can you take that right knee to your right elbow in plank? Bring it back, set it down. Lift that left leg maybe an inch or 2. Pause. Draw the belly in. Take that left knee towards your left elbow. Bring it back. Plank. Downward facing dog. So you might notice so far that there's one element that's been taken out of this flow. Chaturanga, Cobra or up dog. So this is all edifying and fortifying and stabilizing the shoulder joints, But we will add in that back bending element of Chaturanga and then up dog. but I'm going to invite her not to do up dog as much today as a kind of a high cobra with her knees down. Bend the knees a lot. Look forward. Walk, skip, or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Chair pose. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift. Plank. Come onto the right side, but stack your feet if you can. Yep. That was super good for you. So hips really stacked. Lift that top leg up. Bend the knee. Place that ball of the foot behind the straight right leg. And then, of course, the hips are going to fall back. Start to go with that, spin the heart up. Reach that top hand overhead. Come back to plank. Hold. Feel and notice your shoulders. Come onto the left side, stacking your feet if you can. And then try to keep the top hip from falling back at first. Yeah, so notice how it feels to be stacked. Then lift the right leg up, bend the right knee. See if you can place the ball of the right foot behind the straight left leg. And then the hips will start to go. Let the shoulders also go. Reach overhead, spin the heart up, still completely stacked. That left shoulder is right over the wrist. So good. Coming back, plank. Push in, let that tiny cat happen in your upper back. Draw your heels of your hands toward your feet. Lift your right heel up. Take your right knee towards your left arm. So without moving your arms or your hands, try to straighten that right leg and touch the floor. Good. Bring it back to plank. Strong. Left leg lifts up. Try to take the left knee to the right arm. Without moving the arms, try to straighten that leg and put it on the floor. Good. Bend the knee, come back plank. Lower to the floor, all the way down. Have your hands by your ribs. So walk your hands back just a little bit. Push in and come up to a low cobra. Keep your feet down. And then feel your strong back, but also bring the heels of your hands down. Keep your hands where they are and see how much you can straighten your arms. So maybe just a little, that's perfect. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale here. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Bend your knee and open your hip. So normally I have a square our right shoulder down. I'm going to let you open your shoulders and start to have more weight come on your left hand. Great. With that right knee, take it across the body towards your left arm. Without putting it on the floor, can you straighten that right leg? Bring it back up. Step it forward into a low lunge. Dip the hips, lift the heart, and then straighten that right leg. Draw your right hip back. Good. Inhale here. Bend your right knee. Lift your right arm. Can you place your left hand down, flat to the earth? Can you stack your left shoulder right over your left hand. Can you come to side plank on the left? Plank. Lower all the way to the floor. Medium cobra. Pushing in, lifting up. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee and open your hip and let your left shoulder kind of open too, and a lot of your weight come onto your right hand. Yeah. Good. Then take that left knee across the body toward your right arm and see if maybe without putting it on the floor, you can straighten the leg. That might not be possible, it might go to the floor, that's fine. Bring it back up. Step it all the way forward between your hands. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in, draw your left hip back. Straighten the left leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Lift your left arm up and see if maybe the right palm can be flat down and that right shoulder directly over the right wrist. Stepping to side plank on the right. Yeah. Good. And try to keep the hips stacked. Yes. Plank. Shift forward. See if you can lower halfway down. Knees could come down first. Pause. High cobra. So maybe the knees come down. Yep. Push in. See what works. Beautiful. So almost up dog. It's just the knees aren't up. Yeah, back to downward facing dog. Shift high on the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, walk or hop or skip. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. So we're gonna do a kind of a hybrid between Surya A and Surya B. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog. Cobra or up dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Right leg goes high. Open your hip. Let weight go into your left hand. Inhale here. Draw that right knee all the way across the body towards your left arm. You might straighten the leg, boop, boop, bend it, inhale, lift it up. Exhale, step the foot forward, look forward, inhale, step forward and fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or upward facing dog, inhale. Back to downward facing dog, your left leg lifts. Open your hip. Let your left shoulder open, let weight go on your right hand. Great, inhale here. Take that left knee across the body toward the right arm. You might straighten it, boop, boop. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, step the foot forward. Deep breath in here. Step forward and fold. Chair pose, inhale. So we're moving quickly just to build some heat. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog, right leg goes high, bend the knee and open the hip. And then you might start to come to your right fingertips and more weight goes onto your left hand. Great. Then take that right knee across the body, straighten the leg, thread it through. You might touch the ground, boop, boop. Lift it back up, inhale, step the foot forward. Exhale, dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in, step forward and fold. Chair pose, inhale. Fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, left leg goes high, bend the knee and open the hip and maybe come onto your left fingertips. Yep. And then take that left knee across the body. You might straighten, you might tap it to the floor, boop, lift it back up, inhale, step it all the way forward. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in, step forward and fold. Chair pose. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog. So now we're going to break it down again and go a little bit slower. Right leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. You might shift onto your right fingertips. You might start to follow your right foot. It might come halfway down. You might lift your right fingertips up off the floor. You might keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop, come back, lift the leg up, take the leg all the way to the left. You might start to lift your left hand, lift your left hand, come back, lift the leg up, step the foot forward, dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in, step forward and fold, breathe out. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg goes high, bend the knee, open the hip and start to go. Start to follow it. You might lift your left fingertips up. You might keep going, 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 and then come back. Left leg is high. Take the leg across the body. You might start to lift that right arm up. You might start to straighten the left leg. Come back, lift and step forward. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in, step forward and fold. Chair pose. Fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. So we're going to try to do the whole dancing dog flow now. Right leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip, and start to follow it until you land in that position like we were doing from plank, where you're high on the ball of that right foot. Your left shoulder is totally stacked over your left wrist. And then you start to follow the hip once the foot, yep, and you spin the heart up and you might reach overhead, so good. And then slowly coming back, both hands are down, that right leg goes high. Take the leg across the body, straight and thread it through, place it on the ground, lift your left arm up, back heel is like warrior two, and then you're gonna start to open here. Really important that the right shoulder is stacked over the wrist. Come back, both hands are down, right leg lifts up. Step that foot forward, dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in, step forward and fold. Chair pose, inhale, fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Or throw in an extra chair. I stopped and like, what did I just say? Cobra or up dog, downward facing dog, left leg goes high, bend the knee, spin the hip open, follow it, land on the ball of that left foot until the right leg is like side plank. So good, Kunti, really stacking the shoulder over the wrist, spin the heart up, reach forward, and then come all the way back, lifting that left leg high, take the leg across the body, place it on the floor, right arm lifts up, and your back foot is like warrior two, and then lean back so that foot might be on the floor. Awesome. Inhale here, come back, left leg goes high, foot steps forward, dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in, step forward and fold, breathe out. Awesome. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Let your arms rinse out overhead. Take a few breaths there. And then we'll start placing this dancing dog sequence into a flow. You can always do one or none, or you can continue with it. Just make sure your shoulders are stacked. Make sure it's feeling useful and not at all injurious, yeah? Chair pose, inhale. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Down dog your way. So I'm going to say that because you get to monitor how many chaturangas, up dogs, all of that you want to throw in. Right leg goes high. We're going to flip our dog in this dancing dog style. So this is wild thing. Take a deep breath in. Come back, both hands down, right leg high. Take the leg across the body, place it on the floor. Back foot is down, start to lean back. Inhale here. Place the hands down, lift your right leg up, step the foot forward between the hands, warrior number 2. Inhale to exalted warrior. Exhale, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Land back, warrior 2. Find your footing. Inhale, exalted warrior. Down dog your way, down dog your way. From down dog, left leg high, bend the knee and begin dancing dog. So over to wild thing. Stacking everything up, spinning the heart. Breathe in. Come back. Lift the left leg. Take it across the body. Straighten, thread it through. Place it on the floor. Right arm up. Lean back. Inhale. Gorgeous. Come back. Both hands down. Left leg high. Step the foot forward for warrior 2. Inhale. Exalted warrior. Exhale. Side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. Come back, warrior 2. Find your footing. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, down dog your way. Down dog your way. Deep breath in together. Long breath out. Walk or hop to the top. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Let your arms rinse out overhead. When you're ready, chair pose. Fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Down dog your way. Right leg lifts, dancing dog. Wild thing, take a deep breath in. Come back, take the leg across the body. Lift the left arm, lean back. Inhale here. Come back, right leg is high, step the foot forward for warrior 2. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. One swoop back to exalted warrior. Inhale. Nice. Down dog your way. Down dog your way. Left leg up. Dancing dog. Coming to wild thing first. Deep breath in. Coming back. Take the leg to the right. Straighten, thread it through, put it on the ground. Right arm up, lean back, inhale. Come back, left leg high. Step forward, warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Exalted warrior, big breath in. Down dog your way, down dog your way. And then stay for a few breaths. You can see how this builds heat, feels flowy, dancy, yeah. And also asks a lot of our shoulders. Yeah.
Did you mention much on the foot positioning when we're going to this, how you're pivoting your foot so much to allow that stability?
That's a good thing that Kanti's bringing up, because maybe that's a cue that's left unsaid as much. So I'm going to have her lift her so that they can see. Lift your left leg. And then notice how much the right foot pivots when she comes to wild thing. Look at the pivot of the right foot, so the standing foot. Yeah. Come on, all the way over. So it has to really pivot in order to land. And then lifting that leg back up, it's got to pivot again. Pivot, yeah. And then as it goes across the body, it has to pivot the other way. Yeah, pivot. And then come back again, it has to pivot. So she kind of walked it up. She walked her toes up to get that pivot, so that you're not going up and down all over the mat. Great, let's do the other side. Lift that right leg up. Watch the standing leg pivot as she goes. Yeah. And then as she lifts it back up, look at the pivot that has to happen with that left foot, and then go across the body, the pivot. Yeah. And then watch what she does to pivot. She actually moves her toes before she goes. Move your toe before you go. All right, step forward and fold. Awesome, really good. So let's do one more round, and everybody at home notice the pivot of your toes. So chair pose. Fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Down dog your way. A good cue. Thank you. Right leg lifts. So as you're going to go to wild thing, notice the pivot of your left foot. Pivoting that left foot, landing gently. Come back. So you really have to pivot that foot back. And then go across the body. As that heel goes down, it's like warrior two. Now as you come back, you got to step those left toes up to pivot back, and then step the foot forward, warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Twice more now, total of 3. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Half moon, half moon. One big sweeping exalted warrior. Down dog your way, down dog your way. Before we go to the other side, I'm going to speak to what I'm seeing. The biggest pivot, the biggest thing with that foot is after the dancing dog is over, after you go over to the other side, you've really got to pivot the toes forward in order to get back. Okay, left leg lifts. Bend the knee and come to your wild thing. Yeah, so the right leg pivots, the right foot pivots. Come back up, you're pivoting on that right foot, and then go across the body, straighten the leg, thread it through. So now here, as you come back, you've kind of got to pivot the back toes forward in order to get back. Step the foot forward, warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Twice more. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. Exalted. Half moon. And then all the way back to exalted. Down dog your way. Down dog your way. Walker hop to the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Chair pose. Fold over your legs. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Down dog your way. Just one more little flourish to this whole sequence. Right leg lifts. Notice the pivot of your left toes, dancing dog. Wild thing first, then pivot the toes, take the right leg left. Lift the left arm. And then notice the pivot you've got to do with that foot as you come back, and then right foot forward to warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. This time, half moon directly. We're going to stay. Maybe you touch a block. You might bend your top knee. You might reach for that foot. Kick the foot into the hand. Yeah. Touching a block maybe, or both hands to the foot. Breathing, noticing, and when you're ready, releasing. Airplane. Revolved half moon, where you might touch a block. You might have it on its highest setting. You might bend that left knee and reach back with your right hand. Kick the foot into the hand. Draw your right hip back. Release, land back, crescent lunge. Good, down dog your way. Left leg lifts, dancing dog. Notice the pivot of the right foot as you land in wild thing. Pivot of the right foot as you bring the left leg back and across the body, straighten it, thread it through, right arm up. And then the big pivot of that back foot as you come back. Inhale, left leg high, step the foot forward, warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, half moon. You might stay. You might come to sugar cane, bending that top knee. One or both hands. And then release and come to airplane. And then right hand down, left arm up. Bend that right knee, reach back, kick the foot into the hand. open, step back, crescent. Inhale here, down dog your way. Okay, so the next thing we're going to work towards is shift forward into plank. Now this one can always be done with the knee down. So shift onto your right side. Maybe the right knee goes down because I will invite you to lift that left leg, bend the knee with the heel going toward your butt, and see if you can reach back there, grab hold of the foot, kick the foot into the hand, kick, kick, kick. So good. Release the hand, release the foot, lift the leg up, 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 and now step the foot all the way forward, crescent lunge. Nice. Breath in, bring your palms to your heart. Right elbow outside that left knee. This could all be done with that right knee down. You might stay or open your arms high to low. Frame your front foot now, straighten your front leg, bow toward it. And bend the knee, down dog your way, down dog your way. Shift forward plank. Come onto your left side. So left knee could certainly be down here. Lift the top leg, bend that right knee, reach behind you, try to find the foot, kick the foot to the hand. Then release that shape and step that right foot all the way forward, crescent lunge. So that could be done, and it could end up in low lunge if that back knee was down. Yeah? We're going to have the palms come to the heart and twist left elbow, wrist or forearm outside the right knee. Once you find that, you could open the arms high to low. Frame the front foot, straighten the front leg and bow toward it. Down dog your way. So just for the sake of, if you were listening to that the last time, you're like, what in the heck is that? I can't do that. I'm going to have Kanti show how it would be modified. Shifting forward plank, put your knees down. Come onto your right hand, right knee. Lift your left leg up. Bend that knee and reach behind you. Kick the foot into the hand if you can. And if you can't reach your knee, you could just stay reaching toward your foot if you can't reach your foot. Yeah, it could be like that. Yeah. And then release that shape and step that foot forward to low lunge. See how she pivoted that standing leg. And then here, palms come to the heart, right elbow outside left knee. And then framing that front foot, straightening just the front leg. Step back, down dog, shift forward plank. Bring the knees down onto the left side. Lifting that right leg up so you can see how her foot is behind her, that standing leg, yeah? Then the top knee, maybe you're reaching toward the foot, maybe you grab the foot. So when you release, you've got to pivot those bottom toes back again so that you can step that foot forward for low lunge. A lot of pivoting of the foot. We should do a whole foot pivot class, which is kind of what this is. And then twist, right? And then you would frame the front foot, lift the back knee, straighten the front leg. Yep, and then back to downward facing. Awesome. Right leg goes high. Pigeon, pigeon. So since we're on the subject, let's talk about the back foot and pigeon. Tuck your back toes under. Inch your back knee back and in toward the center of the mat. And then try to come to the top of the foot and have the toes point as straight back as possible. And then coming forward. You're ready. Back to down dog and switch inside. Shake, shake, shake that right leg. And left leg pigeon. Working with the back foot, tucking the back toes under, inching that back knee back and in towards center. And then trying to be on the top of the foot with it pointed straight back. It tends to point toward center for most of us. Trying to keep it straight back, good. As you do come on the forearms or bowing down here, feel how that helps the right hip to come forward. So it's like the right outer hip comes down. Back, down dog, you might shake out that left. And then onto your back, you might walk or hop forward, or you might pivot the plate. And then how about happy baby pose? Maybe bend your knees a lot. See if you can keep your feet rather parallel like Conti has them. Grabbing the outer edges of the feet, drawing the knees toward the armpits here.
And then go ahead and see if you can turn your knees and toes out. And see what happens if that gives you more space. So for me, that's like such a natural position. And then the minute I try to have them parallel, it's terrible. But it might be the exact opposite for you. It might be parallel is more comfortable, more available. Turning out is harder. Yeah. So just notice. And then kind of, if you can in Happy Baby, you might go from parallel to turned out, kind of and just feel into what feels useful. And try to make sure it's not just your feet turning out, but your knees. And it's really a turnout at the hips that we're looking for. It's the hip joint. And then today, we won't use a block because we won't stay long, but come knees together, twist to the left and straighten your legs. Okay. And so as you straighten your legs, the bottom foot goes in front of the top. So the top foot comes behind, just like when we were doing side plank variation, yeah? And then cross your ankles. And flex both feet and push them into one another. So. And then change the cross of the ankles. Yeah. Flex the feet and kind of push them in toward one another. Which way seems more natural to you? The other way, right? Okay. So can top flex this bottom. That really different. Okay. And then over to the other side, legs straighten. Cross your ankles. See which way. Yeah, I think it's the bottom foot has to come in front, right? When you feel ready, back to center, and maybe a shoulder stand, or just a block under the sacrum, legs up the sky. Shoulders have had a lot of work today, a lot of work. See if shoulder stand feels available. If it doesn't, legs at the wall, or a block under the sacrum. Feeling all the things, this body, what a gift, what a privilege, what an honor, what a blessing. Maybe now it's time to notice, were you able to put down any of what you're carrying? Maybe because you were focusing on the alignment of your shoulders, focusing on what needs to happen. And notice how that's a gift to kind of distract the mind from all the other things that happen, you know? Bring it back into focus. Distract the mind from carrying too much, but then bring it into focus so that it's not just distracting. Fine. You're ready. Making your way to Shavasana. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you like today. I will give you our final blessing now. Spirit of peace, we say Shanti, Shalom, Salam, Amani, Maluhia, Irini, Shiakan, Jam, Pache, Pas. In the spirit of our collective truth, healing, and liberation, we say Ashe, Amin, Amen, blessed be, Kapu Aloha, in Lakach, Satnam, Namaste, Batak Vyasan, Black Lives Matter.